Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line, and this week we are doing the sew down. So this is our monthly-ish roundup of stuff that we've seen, sewn, listened to and read in the world of sewing that we thought you guys would find interesting. So I'm going to start with what I'm wearing. This is the I Am Patterns Lion top. It came out probably a month or so ago, and they very kindly gave it to me when we were at the knitting and stitching show because I fell in love with it. And yeah, I'm super pleased with it, so I'll just show you. I mean, it's quite a simple sort of top, little like Breton stripe top, but then it's got this sort of statement poof sleeve, and then at the top also on this side it's got little poppers, which is quite a nice little detail. The fabric I got from Guthrie and Garney, and I think she might still have it in the charcoal version. It's a kind of quite structured ponte. It's actually loop back. It's kind of like in between a ponte and a sweatshirting, and it's quite a nice weight, especially for a top like this. So at the moment I'm currently wearing it mainly under jumpers because it's so cold. But yeah, in terms of the pattern, fit-wise, I flared it out from the bust because I want it to be quite loose-fitting. I think if I made it again, I might make this, the kind of poof, slightly less poofy. But I really like it, and I think actually this might be the kind of basis of loads of wardrobe staples for me, because it's got really lovely long cuffs, which I think obviously you can then turn them up so that they are kind of normal length, but I love having a longish cuff. It kind of keeps your hands warm. I like to keep my hands sort of tucked in. So I'm really pleased with this top, and yeah, I love it. So what we're going to talk about first. So I'm going to talk about my fabric. I actually got this probably a month or so ago, and Caroline from Blackbird Fabrics very kindly sent me some fabric because she wanted to test out shipping from Canada to see how long it takes, and she sent me the most beautiful Tencel twill fabric, and it's a little bit creased because I've had it crumpled in a pile, but it has the most beautiful drape. I am literally in love with it, but I don't know what to make with it. This is my kind of worry. I love it so much that I'm almost too scared to use it. So if anyone's got ideas for what I should make with it, let me know. I was sort of thinking about making another name Tell Me, but I'm wondering if that's a bit too boring. I don't know. Thoughts on a postcards team. Also, on that note, Caroline of Blackbird Fabrics, if you haven't discovered them yet, they're definitely worth checking out, especially for people who dig plain fabric. She has really nice selection of mainly plains. There are some lovely draped kind of florals, but generally she does kind of plains in lots of different colours, which for me is like my jam at the moment. So I was mega excited to get that. Right, so I'm going to talk about what should I do next? Maybe I'll do, so Rachel and I are currently, because it's the day this is going out, Saturday, we're off to Paris, which is very exciting for the day. We are going to this exhibition, which I definitely cannot pronounce. It's essentially the French version of the knitting and stitching show, and when we were talking to the I Am Pattern girls, they were telling us about it and how great it is, and it's in association with Marie Claire, and we just thought it'd be really interesting to go and see what it's like and what the difference is over in Paris, and to see how they set up their stands. And I think Atelier Brunette are there, so I mean there's definitely options for us to go and do a bit of fabric shopping. So I think we'll probably, if we can, try and do a video about our little day adventure to Paris. Yeah, I'm really excited, and we're going on the Eurostar, which is super civilised. You just kind of trot in, sit down, and you arrive in Paris a couple of hours later. What I am a little bit gutted about is that I don't think we're going to have enough time to go and see the Dior exhibition, which I have got pangs of desire to go and see because it has like everything that you'd ever want to see made by Dior, including the new look. But anyway, I don't think we're going to have time. So up next, I've got this to show you. I thought this was quite interesting. So Gutermann sent us this, and I think it's going to be something they're going to start doing more of, but it's recycled thread. So all these threads are made from recycled bottles, and I thought it was really nice because we need to, obviously, within everything that we're doing, we're thinking everyone's sort of thinking more and more about sustainability and where are your things from, but I'd actually never thought about where, you know, how environmentally friendly thread is. But I thought this was really cool, and they actually gave me, who gave me? Sew Positivity gave me one thread roll of it in the summer, and I've used it, and I mean, it's really nice, you can't tell the difference, but I just thought this was really interesting. So I think this is the full range of colours they do at the moment, but I'm assuming if people buy them and they go well, there'll be more of them. So I thought that was quite a cool little thing. I'll pop a link, obviously with everything, I'll pop links down below to all the stuff so you can have a look if you are interested. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is quite an interesting, it's more business, but I think you guys would be really interested. So it's quite big news actually. Simplicity and New Look and are all in, and Bird are all in one company, and then you've got McCall's, Butterick, Quick Sew, what's the other one? McCall's, Butterick, Quick Sew, Vogue are all are kind of all within another big company. And we just heard recently that they've actually merged. So there is now, instead of it being like the big four, it's like the big one. So they're now one big company, which is quite exciting actually. It will be really interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years in terms of how they bring all of these pattern companies together and whether they're going to keep them all. And yeah, I just thought it was a really interesting and kind of cool, like it's now one big giant beast, and nice to have them all under one roof, because there's always felt like a little bit of rivalry between the two big companies, but now they're just one big beast. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Next up, I've read a really interesting article and we shared it on Facebook this week and lots of people were really interested, and it's about the women, I've just got my laptop here, so it's on the BBC, and again I will pop a link. It's about the women who sew for NASA, and I don't want to sort of tell you too much because I think you guys should go and read it, but the long and short of it is they wouldn't have got to space without sewing, which is pretty cool. It was a really interesting read, and I thought it was something that we should share with you because I thought you would all find it interesting as well. So it's not too long, and it's just talking about all the different fabrics and, you know, the kind of bit that you don't think about, you know, the space suits and actually who made them and how they were made. So that was really interesting, and I think you guys would like that. So that's a good little read. Stuff that I am listening to. So I've got two things to talk about. So the first one is a podcast which actually was recommended by someone in the YouTube in the last video, Carolina Hill, and she recommended the Love to Sew, no, she didn't recommend that, Modern Love podcast, and she said, I didn't know if it'd be your thing, and I thought, oh, do you know what, I'll have a listen and see, and I just love it. I think it's such a fantastic podcast. So the premise of it is Modern Love is a column in the New York Times, and apparently it's been, you know, it's got a massive cult following. It's been going for about 13 years, and they've decided to turn it into a podcast. So they've got quite famous and well-known actors to read the essays, and then after that they then talk to the people who wrote the essays, and they're just really, if you like stories about, if you're into stories, it's a really, I mean, really great podcast. And I think the title of it kind of doesn't give you as much, it kind of makes it sound like it's a bit twee, but actually they're really beautiful stories about relationships between people and, you know, family, and yeah, I love that sort of narrative. So it was really interesting, and I think, you know, it's definitely worth a listen if you're looking for a new podcast. So thank you, Carolina, for the recommendations, and any other podcasts that you are enjoying listening to, just pop it, like, let us all know, because it's nice to share, especially any more crime ones, because I'm running a bit low on the crime podcast. The other podcast is one that I've spoken about before, but there's a particular episode that I thought was quite interesting. Obviously, I think probably quite a lot of you are on Instagram. It's a platform especially for sewing that has really created an online community, and I think it's a really, you know, it's connected people have made friends through it, and I think it's a real integral part of the sewing community now. So the podcast is about the guys who set up Instagram, and the podcast called I think it's called How I Built This. I always give it the wrong name. Yes, How I Built This, and I'll pop a link to the particular episode. So it's the guys who founded Instagram, how it started, and yeah, it was really interesting listening to them. And actually it was so amazing how quickly they did it. It was like a couple of years. It was amazing. Yeah, so I thought that would be really interesting hearing for you. Hearing podcast. Oh gosh, sorry. Right, so that is everything for the sew down this month. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be back with another video very soon. Bye.